Quick speak of today is going to be about why people don't go vegan.
Because they don't want to.
So, when I became an atheist,
Oh my god.
about, well, probably like 4 years ago, although I did have a relapse,
Why do I care?
um, I realized, like, once you actually present the arguments, like factual arguments, and once you go through all the arguments against, believing in God, which are very rational, very science-based and everything, and like it's just, a good thing to do and a good thing to promote secular and like independent thought instead of dogma. I realized, oh, people actually did. Well, that's true. Like, yeah, I'll just stop believing in God, stop going to church. That doesn't mean you stop being a good person, of course, not at all. Like, you start thinking for yourself, reasoning for yourself. And I realized then when I became vegan, it was much harder to make someone change, even though there's actually more logic behind veganism. Like,
There's more logic behind veganism than there is behind atheism.
you can still argue like metaphysically for the existence of God or whatever, and you can actually be like believe what you want. But for veganism, it's like it's the evidence is clear. Like animals suffer and don't want to die, and like animal agriculture destroying the environment, destroying the oceans, like polluting everything. It's literally, it's probably one of the worst things for the planet right now as a whole. It's creating um, drug-resistant bacteria and everything, which will like fuck everyone up.
All you've done there is a brief overview of a lot of different problems that society faces and then just assumed that the conclusion is veganism. There are solutions to each of these individual problems. We don't need veganism.
And you also talk about like the health aspect of veganism and like why animal products are bad for you, and like the evidence is there.
That's me taking a drag of a cigarette. Do you really think I give a fuck about the health benefits?
Like World Health Organization saying like meat is carcinogenic, and there's millions of other studies out there backing up the fact that animal products are bad for you, and the more plants you eat and plant-based foods and fruits and vegetables, you'll be more healthy. So it's really shocking to see how people don't make the change so easily, and the reason for that is that changing your mindset to a vegan mindset actually requires some effort, and people are lazy people, okay?
I'm not lazy. You haven't given me a single justifiable reason to change my mind.
So it's like becoming an atheist, like, oh, okay, I'll stop believing in God. Actually, that's even easier because you don't even have to go to church, you save time.
Can we all just stop and take a second to realize how little this analogy actually works?
And for veganism, you actually have to put effort in, and that's the problem because many people just go like through life not caring about things and like, okay, I'll do the minimal things required.
I really don't see what extra effort it takes. I mean, I cook my meals, that takes effort. So if I was vegan and I was cooking my meals, that would take surely the same amount of effort.
But then you realize that, oh, with veganism, you actually have to change. You actually have to put your words into actions, and people never do that. Like, oh yeah, it's really sad about, you know, the things going on, like stuff in the world, and like babies dying, like of starvation in Africa or like South America or freezing to death.
What the fuck exactly do you want me to do about these problems?
Then when they realize they have to change their actions, they're like, oh, all of a sudden there's excuses for that.
No, you're not understanding. I'm happy to change my actions if you can provide to me a justifiable reason for me to do so. I am not going to change into a vegan. It's not going to happen. It's got fuck all to do with laziness,
Once you realize that you're causing something wrong,
which I'm not.
then you start putting excuses to yourself.
Again, this is not true. You haven't provided any reason for me to turn into a vegan.
Because I think most people think are against animal cruelty.
I am against animal cruelty.
They're not against institutionalized animal cruelty because they have been like taught to think animals are not and the animals we eat and abuse are not, like, they don't count.
No, I'm against all forms of animal cruelty. The animals that we eat, there is no right for those animals to be abused. They still count, they're still animals, and they still deserve to live a life free from cruelty.
But people are against non-institutionalized animal cruelty, like against dogs or like bulls,
Bulls?
um, in like bullfighting, etc.
Oh, bullfighting, yeah, I'm against bullfighting. And I'm against the abuse of dogs and cats, and pigs, and sheep, and cows.
So it's like when you tell them, oh, actually no, you still contribute to animal cruelty, they're like, oh no.
Yeah, they're like, oh no, actually I don't. I buy local produce and free range. I stay away from all caged hens, factory farm animals, anything like that.
Like, what is this? Like, and they start putting excuses. They start finding excuses. They start going to all. They go out to a like logical fallacies book and start reading all the fallacies out of there and be like, yeah,
Is there a logical fallacies book?
it's natural.
It is natural.
It's we need this for protein. It's the way we've been doing it for millions of years. You know,
Both also very valid points.
whatever. I don't care. Stupid stuff. So
To a reasonable extent, I don't care. We can't care about everything in the world. We'd overload.
yeah, that's the main reason you have to keep in mind when you try and convince someone
But you don't have to try and convince someone. You could just let them eat whatever they want, and you could continue to eat whatever you want.
to go vegan. And it's not that easy because they actually will have to change their acts. So the best thing we can do as well is make it easy for them. Because if you give someone the opportunity to go vegan and you show them why it's the truth, they'll realize eventually, like, all right, I'll do it. If it's almost as easy as not doing it, people will do it. Will do it.
Well, I won't. I can see what you mean. I know that a lot of people will try the vegan diet just to prove you wrong. I'm not one of those people. Sorry, you'll have to try harder.
Or at least that's what I like to believe. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video.
Right. Well, I'm still not vegan.